Hello everyone. I've covered the major stories of Suramar prior to patch 7.1 in 3 different episodes, and at the end of the last episode I mentioned that I didn't cover all of the stories, and that the people really wanted me to, I could make a different one to cover those as well. Turns out that a whole bunch of you wanted to hear all the little side stories, so that's what we're going to talk about today. Keep in mind that some of them are just a pass-through character, while others do have a bit of story to talk about. Let's just begin and see where we end up. Right at the get-go, after Thalyssra asks of us to go find Arcanist Gul'dan, we run into an exiled Nightborn called Absalom. He left the city to find his daughter. She was one of those who dared to speak out against Elisande, but now she's gone. He thought that he would join her as a withered, but we saved his life just in time by giving him some delicious ancient mana, and we even delivered a letter to his wife Noressa. She had to know what happened to him and to her daughter, but he can't tell her where he is, nor can he return to her, so he's hanging out in our base while we ride into the city and we deliver the letter, which says, "This is a difficult, trying time for our people, but I must stress to you, there is still hope. I cannot risk exposing my saviors, but help is coming. Just hold on." Noressa cries and thanks us for bringing her this information, as she'll hold on to those words in her heart, while we do our very best to change the situation, work towards the day where these two can be together once again. Next, we have a very small one, Rosena the Harpist, who had heard rumors of another place for the Nightborn where they're not beholden to Elisande's insanity. She offers her hands and her harp to those willing to listen and lighten the mood, and we get our very own harpist within the base. We're not able to save everyone we encounter though, as more and more are getting exiled. Desperation runs high as we find out with Ladref. She's been exiled and she desperately wants to get back into the city, and she read a message carved into a wall which spoke about someone in the water gardens who can smuggle people back into the city. We make contact for her with Esteril the smuggler, even gather some stashed supplies for our trip, and we escort her to Esteril.
"It will be easier for me to travel on the road." "Help! I cannot fight these creatures!" "We must hurry!" "Look at them. They're not even people anymore. I cannot turn into one of them. We must reach Asteril quickly. Clear the path faster!" "More exiles, like me. All I did was punish those servants. You would have done the same." "Oh, you must be Asteril, finally!" "The first thing I shall do when I get back in the city is drink a cool, tall glass of arc wine."
Esteril tries to get rid of us after doing him a great service, but Ladref is scared. She's so close to home, to salvation, and she asks of us to see it through till the end.
"I will not last long out here."
We must leave now. Soon we will be home.
"Yes, I am ready. Let us make haste. I worry that we will be found by our enemies."
Do not be afraid. Soon all will be set right.
The Legion landed right on our doorstep, and
We are
Elisande
here.
simply let them in. Disgusting.
I don't understand. This isn't the city. Where?
Silence! I tire of your prattling. Do not worry. It will all be over soon. Fell Masters, I bring you your final sacrifice. 9 times 9 souls I have brought you, my own kith and kin. So much power! I cannot be stopped!
Asteril made a dark bargain with the Legion, the souls of his own people, the desperate and exiled, in exchange for the power of the Legion. We put him down for his crimes, but he's not the only one foolish enough to try and gain the delicious power of the Legion. At the Den of the Demented, near Val'sharah, we find Kirtos, an exile who's into studying all kinds of magic, and he's on the verge of a breakthrough to tap into a whole new source of magic, but he's cut off from his workshop and he requires tools to work with. We bring him a Val Deconstructor, looted from one of the smaller demons in Val'sharah, as well as some spines from the Valfire Basilisk, which he can study for the magical residues, and we bring him some Val-infused plates, since a good way to understand how the magic works is to understand and study materials made using that magic. With all of that collected, it's time to embrace the future, as Kirtos puts it. He has mastered every magic known to their kind, and he will master the Val, starting with a small summoning ritual.
This summoning will use much of my strength. Be prepared for a fight. You have done it! Now, to begin with a simple extraction, the power. I can control it. Yes! I need it all!
He has had his first taste of this delicious, addictive fel magic. It's brutal, it's blunt and powerful, yet Kirtos, he feels like he can master it and he needs more. So like the good assistants that we are, we get sent out to do the dirty work. The bats outside are making so much noise that it's driving him insane, so we need to take them out. But we also bring back some leather to shut the leather worker up who's sharing his cave. We also need to kill some of the demons and bring back their essence, which he can feed upon, and most importantly, we need to collect the Black Tome. This tome contains forbidden secrets to summoning the most powerful of demons. Even the Legion is afraid to call on these Fel Lords, but now Kirtos believes that he possesses knowledge beyond theirs, and he wants to use the tome.
Well, well, what have we here? A thief? Be careful what you wish for.
He has had it. We're trying to do the small stuff. It's time to go straight to the top, and with the tome in his possession, he can unlock the potential within their people. We get to join him and see how he's going to harness the fel magic and redeem the Sheldorai.
I must
Meet me on the
unlock
other
these
side of
secrets.
this portal.
I must prepare for the ritual there. Ah, you are here. All is ready. Be ready, assistant. I shall begin drawing power from the ship's stores. So much power. I can handle it. I can take more. Ah, so that is the key. More. More! Ah, much better. I have all the power I could want. Yet I still crave more. Your soul will do nicely.
Kirtos the old fool gave into the fel. He should have known the risks, but what can you do? Time to put him out of his misery, and we report it back to Thalyssra. Since we're in the Felsoul Hold area, let's talk about the characters that we meet there. First, there's Lyanna Darksorrow, a demon hunter of the Illidari. During the artifact questlines to get the twin blades of the Deceiver, she actually joined us on the mission and was shot down out of the sky. But apparently, she did not die and she had another mission, namely to take down the Eredar Azaran. We find her floating in stasis, her soul slowly being drained into the Harvester Crystal. Now we destroy the Soul Harvester to set her free, and Lyanna does not know how long she's been held captive, but she does know that there's an overwhelming number of demons nearby. There's much to be done here, and of course, we get to help her. First, we bring back the weapons that she lost, and we also collect some fresh fel flesh from the Basilisk since she has a little test. Azaran is no pushover, and if we are to join her, we must prove our worth by placing the flesh on display, drawing in Grimwing the Devourer, and slaying the Bat. We do just that, and with the head of Grimwing in our possession, we find Lyanna interrogating a servant of Azaran.
Speak now, demon. Lead me to your master, and I may let you live.
Unfortunately, the demon fears his master more than he fears us, so we'll have to change his mind about that by seeking out the strongest demons at Felsoul Hold, slay them, and bring back their emblems. While we do that, we also save a couple of their prisoners, who the demons plan to use as fuel for their war engines.
Death to the My patience has run out, Wormtongue. Where does your master hide?
Finally, the Wormtongue realizes who he's dealing with, and he gives us the information that we need. There's a portal that will take us into the Burning Legion command ship, but the portal is locked to those without the key. We need to collect 2 key shards, one being held by Vorgos and one in the possession of Kozak the Afflictor. As we search for the demons that we need, we also find an interesting prisoner, one that has willingly let himself be taken captive, Angus Stormbrew. Angus is looking for a dear friend of his, and he planned to set himself free once he got in, but the key in his pocket, it must have fallen out. A fel hunter ate it, which means that we finally get our poop quest. The tradition goes on as we search through massive piles of fel hunter poop to find the key. With the dwarf released, we've got to find Bramley before it's too late. The dwarf and the human, they've been fighting side by side ever since the Third War, and when the Burning Legion invaded once again, they didn't think twice about coming to the Broken Isles. During the battle, Bramley got caught too deep and he got himself captured, and now we got to rescue him. Last Angus saw was that the demons were keeping him in a prison cell not far from here, but as we checked the spot, it seems like Bramley has been taken away, and the Nightfallen Selphia Starsong, who sits in the other cage, he tells us, after freeing him, that the demons have taken him to the Fellstalker pits beneath the Great Burning Legion command ship. That's where we'll travel next, but since Angus is so kind to help us slay these demons, let's take him on our mission into the Lightbreaker and our battle with Azaran. We place the 2 key shards that we've collected, and the portal opens up.
Now that the portal has been opened, the path to Azaran is clear. We are all that stands between the Legion enter the portal and fight your way to Azeran. Do not worry about reinforcements. I will guard this portal with my life. Time is short. Go swiftly.
Inside, the demons try to stop us, but we move quickly to our targets and we bring the editor down. Lyanna wasn't kidding when she said that she would defend the portal, since upon coming back out, the ground is littered with fresh demon corpses. The Legion has been dealt a great blow this day, but our work is far from over. Now I'm sure that we'll see Lyanna again somewhere in the future, and even Angus comes out of Val'sharah Hold with some good news. At first, it seems like his friend has been devoured by the demons as he finds his helmet on the ground. Thinking to give him a proper burial, we go inside the cave to collect the bones, but at the end, we find out that he wasn't even dead to begin with. He's hanging above a demon beast, and upon slaying it, Bramley and Angus, they walk off into the sunset, ready for more adventures in their future. Let's move away from Val'sharah Hold and go back to the Nightborn in Suramar City, where we find Lespin Silverleaf, a master Jewelcrafter who could use an extra pair of hands with a couple of jobs. Since his apprentice, he's still not done with the simple task given to him.
Do return
Apologies,
soon.
Master.
Perhaps
I am
as a
still
customer.
working on the clasp for the Rust Commission.
An amateur merchant embraces excuses. A master embraces solutions.
We're asked to meet with a friend of Lespin's at the promenade and retrieve a signet ring. Dallas Swiftmeadow notices how Lespin could not even be bothered to show up himself, but since he already received his payment, he doesn't care what happens to the ring. We bring back the blood-spattered signet ring and we're asked to go and fight with the local harpies. They've used the filigree from the arcane lamps from the city to decorate their nest, and the material could be used better for Lespin's future projects, while he also wants some necklaces worn by the harpies. Feathers, bones and other primitive materials with the shield down, they're suddenly fashionable again, and if he would etch his mark on them, it would net him a tidy profit. Now amateur merchants, they worry about losing face from bad products. Masters worry about losing face from bad customers. Nolf with his Springblade, he's grown too bold from his station, and as such has lost much standing in the eyes of the city's elite. Lespin once sold this man a brush, a clasp that he wears on his cape. His pieces never tarnish, but his name and reputation, they're much more fragile. We must relieve Nolfedis of his property before he lowers Lespin's even further. Next to that, there's also some old art, which he's now ashamed of, and he wants it returned.
Another one of Lespin's thugs. I have had it with him. My pet will teach you a lesson. Fine, take it. Just don't hurt me anymore. The chest is over there.
Collecting the sculpture is easy, but the brush is a little bit trickier to get, since Nolfedis no longer has it. It was stolen from him by Venlis Swiftsea, undoubtedly part of some plot to assassinate his reputation. Looks like Venlis is our person to talk to, and after convincing them to hand it over, we return the piece to Lespin.
But
My
Master,
work is
this man
second to
was
none.
innocent. His name was cleared. Surely he deserves a second
It does
chance.
not matter what could happen to his reputation. He has already ruined it. This is why you are still an apprentice.
Reputation is simply everything in the city of Suramar. We have done well doing as requested, but these were just baubles compared to what's next. Our target is Lady Aneste, and she is something very valuable of Lespin. A design of a masterwork gem cut. Now we're asked to go and get it from her by any means necessary, and Lespin does warn us that she's a master manipulator and will tell us all manner of lies. So far, Lespin has been nothing but kind and a gentleman, so surely nothing this lady can say will change our mind.
He dares to send someone in his stead? That accursed wretch!
Lady Aneste is pissed. Lespin shall pay for his crimes, and she tells us that we're working for the murderer and the thief. I don't know about you guys, but I'm truly shocked. That design that he wants, it's called the Magistrix cut, and it was perfected by her husband. He was killed by Lespin for their secret. She had her husband entombed in a small cave north of the city, since they couldn't make the trip to Talenor, and with him is a tome that contains the secrets of the design. She asked us to retrieve it and keep it out of Lespin's hands, but as we come out of the tome without a disguise on, he's there waiting for us.
I always suspected something was amiss with you. My work will shine.
Apprentice Ardrias didn't care much about the master, and he's pleased that he finally found his match. It looks like the promenade is in need of a new jeweler, and he has learned all that he could from his former master. Not only that, we've also gained a jeweler at our side, since Ardrias is related to...
Give cousin Lilith my regards.
and Naste mentioned that she wanted her husband buried within Talenor, but she couldn't make the trip. This place is a city of the dead, where the Nightborn are put to rest and some even honored. It's there where we find Thalyssra Feathersong, who's ready to quit the game, and if we help him out with some of final errands, we can have his stuff. He can't go back to Suramar, not after their dark bargain with the Legion, but turning into a withered is also not a future that he wants for himself. That's why he has chosen for option 3, and we collect the reagents that he needs for a potion that will end it all. Now of course, we don't just let him go without a fight, we try to show him that not all is lost. Thalyssra is working on a rebellion, and we even have a base in which you could stay, could feed, could live for a brighter future. Our words don't do anything, so we follow his final moments, as well as take care of the harpies that are disturbing the eternal slumber of the fallen. We also put the spirits of those disturbed back to rest, and we even collect Talenor mementos. At the grave of Latara Feathersong, a huntress for the Sentinels that led the vanguard in many campaigns, Thalyssra is ready to put an end to his journey. There's just one last thing that he would have us do before he will reward us for our assistance. His wise bow was kept here, but he searched everywhere and he can't find it. There's potent magic in it, and he fears that one of the restless spirits may have taken it. It would take a powerful force to pick up an item such as the bow, so he warns us to be careful as we discover who it was who took the weapon.
What has happened? What have you done to me? My mind is cleared. I will sleep now. Give Phaedrus my love.
Even his own wife has been taken from her rest. He cannot fail her again. Thalyssra realizes that he must live and do what he can to stop this coming storm to be worthy of joining her. He has found renewed strength in knowing that he must be worthy for his beloved, and since we're already gone through the trouble of creating the potion, we might as well put it to good use by using it against the Harpy Matriarch.
I shall aid you, friend. Let us banish this foul presence from Talenor. It is done. Latara, my love. I will continue to fight for you. For us.
With renewed clarity of purpose and a reason to live again, Thalyssra joins us in our base, and together we will save Suramar and atone for the sins of his people.
I thank you for giving me newfound purpose. I will meet you at Shalaran. I think I will be needing a source of magic after all.
Latara Feathersong is described as a huntress of the Sentinels, and another familiar faction that we can find here is the Moonguard. During the War of the Ancients, they were a group of powerful sorcerers who served as protectors and keepers of the peace. They held no allegiance to any nobles or lords except for Queen Azar herself, and even Illidan Stormrage became a member of the organization. When the demons eventually went on the attack during the War of the Ancients, they also joined the Nile of Resistance. Illidan had proven himself worthy, and he became the personal sorcerer of Ravencrest, and he even took up the leadership of the Moonguard for a while as they battled with the Legion. Now for those that have done the questline that dives into Illidan's history, you might remember him draining the Moonguard, draining the life out of them for more power. Let's just say that under his leadership it didn't go too well, and Stormrage was eventually replaced, but the Moonguard did endure. Millennia later, the shield around Suramar dropped, and Falnorous Rivertree informs us that the Nightborn came to the Moonguard gates. They believed them to be friends despite the long separation, and they were very wrong. The Nightborn poured into their stronghold, began their slaughter. The Moonguard was unprepared, and although they tried to fight back, they were beaten. Their keep is lost, their leaders have perished, and we're asked to give the fallen their final rites. While we search for the corpses on the streets, we're also asked to look for survivors and help them if we can. The Hippogriffs, close companions to the Moonguard, they're still fighting bitterly to defend their home. Even El Meadowsong knows that the time is up and want us to let the Griffins know that there's nothing left for them to fight here. We also loot a few of the Moonguard sigils until we find a group of survivors. Lyria Windfeather thought that the Moonguard could endure anything, but now her sister is dead, her friends are wounded, and they will likely die here. All she wants now is revenge, as she hands over a vial of green liquid to attract hippogriffs and turn them on the attacking Nightborn. She also tells us not to come back for them, since they're already doomed by the Nightborn's betrayal. If revenge is truly what they want, then they will have it, as we also find Beakbuck, a reference to Buckbeak from Harry Potter. Beakbuck is defending Serena Windfeather, who wants us to take the Hippogriff and go find Lofrius, who was able to get most of them out of the Athenaeum, but was cornered before he could make good on his own escape.
Undo Falador! Are you here to help us? The Moonguard. Sometimes I forget how talented Sirana is. Welcome, as it were. It is high time we dealt with these intruders.
Lothrius is not quite ready to hand over the keep, and he wants us to help him fight and take care of business before they go. 3 tomes of great importance must be kept out of the hands of the Nightborn, a bunch of them need to be murdered with his magical traps, and we need to shut down portals from which reinforcements are flowing into the keep. Never assume your enemy to be dead until you see their corpse, and this night elf is far from deceased. We do as he asks, and then we head out to find his wife and life partner, Sirana Starweaver, who's holding up within the Starweaver Sanctum across the bridge.
I will defend this place. I have laid out a safe path for you. Touching the crystals will summon my guardians to you. Make good use of it and go swiftly.
There! Lothrius' magic called to me. He must still be alive. Quickly, you can help us rejoin the others.
Sirana is happy to hear that some of her companions still live. There may be some hope yet, but first we have to stop Conjurer Valerian. When the Nightborn took their keep, he immediately sought out her father's private study, and he has not yet emerged. It's likely that he's searching for a very dangerous item, namely the Astromancer's Keystone. This one is used to manipulate the stronghold's defenses. Such magic was meant to protect the Moonguards. Use it for any other purpose, and it becomes unspeakably destructive. If needed, we'll have to slay him, whatever it takes. We have to retrieve that keystone, also assisting Sirana and our group with making their escape.
Our vigil has ended. We meet again. Lothrius and Sirana have just informed me of your deeds.
We have also decided that it is time to leave this place.
The Moonguard are no more. There is no saving our beloved stronghold.
They will be upon us shortly. I can teleport us somewhere safe. Here we go.
We've done all that we could for the Moonguard. This is all that remains of it. A shadow of their former selves, and they have the Nightborn to thank for their demise. There's nothing to do now but retreat. Retribution can wait for now, but one day, Retribution will come as they join us in a little base. Now to wrap up the stories of those that end up at the base, let's move from these magic wielders to those more attuned to nature. At the Iron Grove retreat, we find refugees who fled from Val'sharah during Ysera's attack on the temple. All kittens have messed up the camp, so we get to clean it up while we listen to their tale. They came from a village just outside of Shalanir, but running from the nightmare is not so easy. It followed them wherever they went, and it was not until they crossed into Suramar that they finally escaped it. Or so they think. As they tell their tale, they also mention that Mifandros' brother Kalendros, he's not made it to the camp and they want us to go and find him. We do just that at Dappled Hollow, but we do not only find the Night Elf, we also discover that the corrupted roots of the World Tree Shaladar Sail, it made us all the way into Suramar. The Dark Fiend Satyrs are hard at work of corrupting the area with their totems, so we have to kill them, we pick up their horns and we drive their points through the totems to destroy them. With that task done, we also pick up a torch and we set our eyes on the root of the corruption. Kalendros will dispose of the ashes and can rest easier now while being in Suramar. To help them even further with protecting the land, they've come up with a plan of creating a new moon well, but in order to establish such a well, we'll not only need the blessing of Elun's light, but we also need the blessing of the local wildlife. Only their goodwill enables them to peacefully coexist, and a moonwell thrives on such energies. This is why we go out to find Yaulan, king of the Feathermane, and save us all kittens from the Etten that's trying to eat them. We find an eldering stag named Red Hoof, who we can help by taking out some of the wolves that are trying to eat his kind, while also planting some delicious grass seeds so the stag may feed well. For the third and final blessing, we help out the Night Sabers, who were dealing with the basilisks encroaching upon their home. Managazer, the basilisk lord, has eaten so much Night Saber flesh that he seldom leaves his cave. His death would serve as an example to the others who strayed too far from their home, but we also save those who've been caught by the basilisk's petrifying stare. This earns us the blessing of the Night Saber matriarch, who gives us a Night Saber fang. Combining that with the feather and the rare flower that was already granted, we're able to perform the ritual not often witnessed by strangers. The local wildlife has granted their blessings, and with a little bit of water from a purified moonwell and of course Elun's blessing, the moonwell will protect the land for as long as they inhabit it. There is, however, one final thing that they would ask of us. While they were busy setting up their camp, some of them went out to scout around the city. Lyria Dawnwind has been gone for far too long, and they'd be most grateful if we would go check on her safety. They don't call us heroes for nothing, so of course we do as they ask, and it's a good thing too, since we find Lyria stuck in a trap. The Nightborn are laying down magical snares to capture prey and subjugate them in order to put them on display in their exhibit in the Suramar Zoo. We need to teach them a lesson in respecting their prey, so we collect a few of the snares, which Lyria can study, as well as helping out her buddy Night Eyes, who's been fighting with Trapper Rudun. After reuniting the two, we find Night Eyes later on deep undercover in the exhibit itself. The snares that were studied by Lyria, they've been altered, and we can now use it to reverse the collars on the animals in the exhibit, freeing their minds and setting them loose. A nice reminder to the Nightborn that nature always finds a way. They even have a Val'sharah in their collection, but Suesh, she doesn't seem to have a collar keeping her under control. That means that she follows their orders because she believes Greatest Untar is the pack leader. And how do you prove that you're the pack leader? You show dominance, which is exactly what we do as we defeat Greatest in combat.
Enough of this! To me, Suesh! Destroy these interlopers!
What's this? Listen to me! I am the Alpha! Is that how it is? Clever girl.
Now we are the ones with the Val'sharah, and she looks hungry. Time to let her off the leash for a little bit, feast upon the Nightborn and demons alike, as we get to ride along on her back. This quest is so much fun. I'm sure that it will never get old if they let us do it over and over and over again. We can't take her out again on a ride right away though, so Night Eyes will keep an eye on her for the time being. And back at base, we find a little surprise brought back by Night Eyes, a very, very large egg. Hopefully, one day as our rebellion picks up, hopefully this means that we'll get our own Val'sharah to ride into battle. I can see it now, laser shooting from her eyes, a guitar on her back would be glorious. We can only dream. This is, however, where we'll end part 4. I haven't really touched upon the Jarl questline or the cleansing of the river. In short, we help a rivermain tribe Torrent to cleanse the river, and we help the Vrijkool where they're under the attack from the Naga, and in turn, they make us their Jarl. There we go. Now I've pretty much covered all the stories Suramar has to offer. It's incredible how much they packed into one single zone, and as you know, the story does not end here. Right now, we're working on the next chapter in the story, our rebellion against Elisande, Gul'dan, and the Legion. The storyline is unlocked week by week, but as soon as I've completed the quest, you can be sure that I'll share it with you here. For now, thank you very much for watching, everyone. I'm a little bit ill right now, so I hope that my voice wasn't too off. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you like my videos, leave a like if you enjoyed this one, and until next time guys, see ya!